Hello, beautiful souls. It's Emily with Twins in Union. I hope that everyone is doing well and that your April is off to a good start. I am in my living space today because I have been working on a channeled painting, and my studio and my table are covered with paint supplies right now. So anyway, I just thought I would try something different and I would invite you guys into my living space. And I'm sitting on my nice comfy couch, which I refer to as my healing couch because I have shed many tears on this couch. But anyway, welcome to my living room, and I just felt guided to do a quick video and talk a little bit about the energies. I've been receiving a lot of like bits and pieces of downloads of information, and really like around the full blue moon in Libra, I started really having a lot of information coming in. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt guided to do a little energy update video with you guys. And one of the phrases that came to me, and it just has been like coming to me over and over and over, is April towers bring May flowers. So you probably heard April showers bring May flowers, and I've just been hearing April towers bring May flowers. So yeah, and then this morning I kind of got confirmation of that, where it turns out it was like a big miscommunication and a big misunderstanding, but I thought that I was going to have to move within the next 2 months, and I was not expecting that, and it was like, you know, that feeling of somebody pulling the rug out from underneath you and like your whole foundation is, you know, shaken. And I was just like, what? Didn't see that coming. But anyway, it's all sorted out now. It was a miscommunication and a misunderstanding, and now I don't have to move, so it cleared out quick. But yeah, I was feeling a little bit thrown, and so I just felt like that was just an example of this, what I keep hearing of the April towers bring May flowers, is there could be some tower energy going on this month. And I think it's just this like refining process and this aligning and like fine-tuning things kind of energy. So it's just like, you know, even though I felt like my whole foundation was kind of shaken up, it like resolved really quickly. And I've been, you know, hearing from other twins, and they've had like family upheaval stuff going on, and sudden trips that they've had to take to, you know, smooth things out, and or just, you know, unexpected triggers coming up. But from what I'm hearing from everyone, it's like they're moving through it quickly, and it's bringing about like a sense of completion. So I just feel like, you know, if you are having some of these little tower energies like pop up, just know that it's part of this refining and fine-tuning and further aligning us, and it's all for the highest good of, you know, the energies within our connections. And, you know, going back to March, I know for me, March was a really, you know, intense month of a lot of clearing, a lot of intense emotional clearing, and then also a lot of physical ascension type symptoms going on. So I feel like in March we really cleared a lot, and now we're really in this integration kind of phase. And I know for me, you know, Easter was on April 1st, and Easter is that energy of the death and the rebirth. And I don't know, like those few days after Easter, for me, I felt like everything was like really quiet and really still with the energy. You know, I know that not everyone was feeling that, but I was just kind of like this calm after the storm of March. And, you know, what I was sensing in my connection, and I don't know if this is going to resonate. I hope this resonates with at least one person out there. But what I was feeling in my connection was, it was almost like, we were in that cocoon and we were in that place of like integrating all of this new energy and like getting ready to rebirth ourselves and getting ready to rebirth our connection. And I was pulling some cards, for my own connection, and the cards that were continually repeating, one of them was this green man synergy. And I feel like this is just that energy that we are in of, integrating all of these new energies. So, we cleared out a lot in March, and then, we had Easter, which is like the death and the rebirth. And so it's like, in a way, we are dying to our old selves in order to be reborn to a higher version of ourselves. And with this card, there's all this green energy, which is like that fresh new vitality coming in from this integration that we are going through of all of these rebirth energies. And another card that I was really seeing come up a lot is this emergence card, and it's the dragonfly, and it's just that energy. I also was just really picturing like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, and I feel like, in this rebirth and in this integration, and as a result of all of that clearing that we did in March, we are really open and expanded in our light bodies. We are able to receive more light, and we are able to receive more of the energy of the pure essence of our soul. And so we are integrating all of that in order to re-emerge and to come out as these new versions of ourselves that are, a higher version that is more aligned with the truth of our soul and our soul's essence. And I know for me, I'm really feeling this in my mission, and, I've been in that gestation period, in that cocoon, and just envisioning, how I can expand and grow and evolve my mission work more. So however this is resonating for you, this can look different for everyone, but, we are getting ready to, give birth to ourselves. And we've been letting go of all of these old parts of ourselves, and we've been integrating all of these new parts of ourselves. And so we're kind of in like this in-between place, I feel, where, we are letting the old die off, and you might be feeling even like this feeling of like grieving or sadness, or just kind of like lost in this limbo of like, and I think that's part of like that stillness that I was feeling. And it was almost like this restless feeling of feeling like I needed to conjure up something and make something happen, or I needed to go spend some money, or I needed to like call a friend and like hurry up and make some kind of a plan to like do something fun. Like it was just like sitting with that discomfort of feeling like the stillness and the quietness and the newness and the differentness. And, I just realized, I don't need to resist this and try to like conjure up something. I need to just be present with it and, sit with it and feel. If it feels uncomfortable, then feel the discomfort. But, just sit with these new energies. And I know for me, April has felt a lot lighter in general. Like literally, I feel lighter in my body, and just the energy around me feels lighter. And, it just is a result of all of that work that we've been doing, clearing. So anyway, if you have been feeling kind of lost and like you feel like something is coming but you don't know really what, or just let yourself sit with not knowing, and if you're feeling some sadness, that can be letting go of those old parts of yourself that aren't serving you anymore, so that you can give birth to this new part of who you are that's more aligned with your truth. Okay, I'm looking at my notes here. So going back to the Libra full moon, I had the word homecoming come to me. And I had a dream, like right before that too, that I was on a houseboat out in the middle of the sea, and you know, there was a beautiful dining room set up, and it was very romantic, and I was, you know, longing for my divine masculine, and he wasn't there. And then, you know, it was like this big storm swept through, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere on the sea in a houseboat. And so I go off the deck and inside where it's warm and safe, and I'm really worried about my divine masculine. And there's like a big TV screen with the weather radar. So I was just watching the weather radar really closely, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, my divine masculine like sweeps in and he gives me a big hug, and it was like a homecoming, you know, and I was just so worried, like, would he make it through the storm, and would he be okay? And I was just, you know, like really focused and intent on what was happening on the weather radar. And so anyway, I was thinking about this dream and, you know, that word homecoming, and I feel like we really are all coming home as a result of, you know, all the clearing that we've done, and now being able to receive more light and receive more of our soul's essence, that, you know, whether it's coming home within ourselves and more to that inner union within ourselves, but also, you know, that homecoming within our union, because as we align more and come more and more into that place of union within ourselves, then that helps draw in our beloved and helps assist them in their finding their way home to their selves. So it's like we're finding our way home to ourselves. We are, you know, rebirthing ourselves into these newer, higher versions of ourselves. And through that, we are also, you know, finding our way home to our beloved more and more. And the other thing, too, is the symbol of the robin. So, you know, where I live, there are a lot of robins here now, which is always when you know spring is coming. And so I was reminded after I had that dream of a commercial, and I'll put a link for that in the description box below, but it's this commercial, and it's these robins that are migrating, and they're going through all of these storms and, you know, navigating just like in my dream, you know, where my divine masculine was navigating all of these storms. And, you know, it's just like the robin, and the robins are on their way home, and they're migrating home, and they have to navigate harsh winds and heavy rains and snow and all of these really harsh conditions, but they are just wired within themselves to have like that homing device that is finding their way home regardless of all of that tower energy and all of those storms that they have to go through. So anyway, it was just this really beautiful metaphor that came to me as a reminder that was just like my dream of my divine masculine finding his way home to me. And it was just one of those really, you know, warm hugs in the dream that just felt so real. And yeah, it was just really beautiful. So I feel like that is a big energy that we are experiencing in April, is this homecoming energy. And well, you know, as twin flames, we have that homing device, you know, inside of us that is assisting us in finding our way to our beloved. So I just thought I would share that with you guys. And the other word that was really coming to me was diamond. And I had several like signs come to me, with the diamond. And so I was just like, diamond, like, what is that all about? And I know there are like certain light codes and light frequencies and, diamond downloads that are part of our ascension process. So we could be receiving some diamond downloads right now. The other thing with diamond that I was getting was it's just that reminder of the coal, the lump of coal that turns into the diamond from the pressure that's put on it. And I feel like this probably applies more to the divine masculine energies. But I just feel like they're getting like a squeeze, like this pressure is being put on them. Whether they're more in their dark night of the soul energy or they're coming out of that energy and they're moving into their union energy. There's some kind of like a pressure and a squeeze that they are undergoing right now that is a part of, their ascension that is going to assist them in being able to move forward. And I pulled some cards, so I'll get to those in just a second, but I think the cards will also kind of, give you a visual more of some of these energies. But, and then the other thing with the diamond is I realized that April is, the gemstone associated with the month of April is the diamond. So I thought that was pretty cool, which I'm an April birthday, so I should have known that. But yeah, it took me a while to kind of connect the dots with that. But yeah, so let's see. What was the other thing? I've talked about the cocoon and the emerging and the butterfly. Oh, okay. So releasing the past is coming up a lot. And I know for me and where I'm at in my process, it's like energetically when I even like consciously make an effort to try to access old energies of things that happened with my divine masculine, it's like I can't even access those energies or those thoughts or those vibrations. It's like, nope, that's over, that's done, that chapter is closed, let's start a new book. Like, yeah, so if you did a lot of clearing and a lot of releasing in the month of March, then that's really good. And if you are in that place of feeling like I can't even access those old energies anymore, then that's a really positive sign that you have, moved forward and you've accomplished a lot in your healing work. And, you are preparing to move forward into a new chapter or even a whole new book. And it's, really wiping the slate clean and having a completely new, fresh start. And, your energies are changing so much that you really are a completely vibrationally new person compared to a year ago, and it's exciting to see that and to feel that. And yeah, to just move beyond all of, just the anger and the resentment and the blame and all of that. Like, it's just so refreshing and really liberating. So that's some of what I have been feeling. I don't know if anyone else is resonating with this, but I just felt really strongly guided to share some of this. And the other big thing that is coming up is transcending old habits and creating new habits. And that's part of this balancing energy from the full moon in Libra. So I know for me, I have really been revamping my schedule, changing up my habits, looking at what habits aren't serving my highest good, what habits are, just part of my old self that don't resonate with my new self. And how can I start to create new habits? And it's just every day I try to take baby steps. So it's not about like completely overnight, completely changing your whole lifestyle, but just taking baby steps each day to work towards new habits that align more and more with this new self that you are rebirthing, and that is aligned more with, these higher vibrational energies. And also stepping outside of our comfort zone is another big one. And I know for me, that little upset I had this morning where I thought I was going to have to move within 2 months, that was pushing me outside of my comfort zone. And I was like, okay, if this is happening, and if you are experiencing these little tower energies that are pushing you outside of your comfort zone, then just remember that this is all for your highest good. And how can we, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, basically. And, for me and my mission and like doing this video, this has taken a lot of courage for me to try something different and just bring the camera in my living space and start talking about energies, because I've just been, feeling so much of the energy and getting all of these little signs and phrases, and I just felt like I needed to share it. So it took courage for me to step outside of my usual card spread. Speaking of cards, I did pull some cards here, so I'll share more of those. The other quick thing I wanted to mention was Mercury retrograde. I feel like that's part of like this really slow, kind of still energy that we've been feeling. And again, it's like forcing us to go within and be reflective and, really take stock of things and do like a review and really examine what needs to be changed in our lives. Also, the weather where I live, it's like we had snow today and it's April 9th, and that is very unusual. Usually it's like daffodils are starting to like pop out, and it's just been really bizarre. But it's so weird, like as soon as Mercury's going direct, Mercury goes direct on the 15th, which is this weekend, and then, our weather forecast is like today the high is like around 40, but then this weekend the highs are like in the, like around 70, 72. So it's like as soon as Mercury goes direct, then everything's going to go forward, including the weather's going to catch up. And then we have the new moon coming up, and I will be doing a reading for that, the new moon in Aries this weekend. And this is another card that has been popping up a lot for my own personal readings for myself, is this new moon promise. And I love that with the couple sitting here. It's all romantic. But there's like promise and new horizons, this beautiful sunset and new beginnings. And Aries is the beginning of the zodiac cycle. So I think that everything's just going to get a nice big push forward. And I will talk more about that this weekend when I do my new moon in Aries reading. So I did pull some cards, and for the overall energy and the union energy for April, the card that came up was, I hope you guys can see that, Door to Personal Healing and Happiness. And this just looks like spring to me with that sunrise and the rainbow and the dove and this new doorway opening up. And I remember this card came up for me a lot right before my mission was revealed to me, and I remember just feeling so lost and so confused, and I was just like praying and crying, and I got in my car and I went for a drive, and I was just like crying and out on the country road along a river, and I looked up and there was literally a rainbow. It was like I was driving through this scene and there was a blue heron that flew across the water, and here it's a dove. But my whole point in sharing that is just, even though if things feel really quiet and really still, and you feel really like nothing is happening and just kind of like restlessness but lost at the same time, just know like it was right after I saw that rainbow, like the next day my mission was revealed and my whole life changed. And we just have to really trust that April is going to open up this door of healing and happiness for us. And if you feel lost, that's just a sign that, you know, that you're on the path. This is a number 7 card when we add the 3 and the 4. So, you know, sometimes being lost is just part of the journey, and it's just part of preparing to give birth to these new parts of ourselves. So yeah, that's beautiful overall energy for the month of April. And for the Divine Masculine, there were a couple of cards that came up. And again, this is just like the Divine Masculine's general energy for the month of April. But we have adjacent possibilities and all tied up. And I know I've heard from a lot of other Divine Feminines that they've been feeling, you know, like, what's the holdup? Why does it feel like things are on hold? You know, and we've been in that energy, you know, where it's just like, come on, like, we want some forward movement here. And here he still is tied up. And, you know, and I've been seeing the Hanged Man energy coming up a lot in cards. So I asked, you know, for a clarifying card. I was just like, why is the Divine Masculine tied up? And the card that actually came up was the 2 of Cups, which is union. So what I'm getting is the Divine Masculine is all tied up because he's, you know, okay, so for some Divine Masculine, the Divine Masculines are like still in the dark night of the soul. They are all tied up because they are moving through this dark night energy, and you can see she's kind of in this dark night. And he's really trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. He's trying to find his path. He's trying to find his way. He's, you know, moving through these different portals, exploring these different possibilities. And, you know, it's the union energy that is prompting all of this within him because he's on this path of ascension. The Twin Flame path is a path of spiritual ascension. Now, for other Divine Masculines, what I'm getting for this is they are preparing for union. There is, you know, a group of Twin Flames that will come into union sometime this spring. And so I feel like those Divine Masculines are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and now they are just looking at the possibilities, like getting their strategy in order, and they're not going to make a move until they've got everything all, you know, situated with their strategy about how they want to move forward. And so this is actually really positive. So if you're feeling like, you know, and you know, like, you know where you are, if you know, if union is, if this is your time for union, then you know. And just, you know, it's, again, it goes back to just trusting the universe has our back. This is all happening for a positive reason, and it's the union. It's the coming together, and, you know, he is working on, you know, getting his ducks in a row, so to speak. And the other beautiful synchronicity, if you look closely at this card, it's a 2, but it's a Roman numeral 2, which looks like an 11. And then if you look at these 2 cards, we have 23 and 24. And when we add the 2 and the 3, we get a 5. And when we add the 2 and the 4, we get a 6. When we add the 5 and the 6, we get 11. So we have 11 and 11. And this is a number 11 year. And this is reminding me too that this is also a powerful time of manifestation. So monitor or be that observer of what are you thinking? What are you feeling? If you're thinking thoughts that aren't in alignment with where you want to be, then just say, okay, I don't really want to be thinking these thoughts right now. Like, that's what I do, is I just say, okay, new topic, cancel, clear, delete. Don't want to be thinking that right now. Like, you know, you just have to put your ego in its place, and just we have to be really mindful about what energies we are aligning with in our thoughts and in our feelings, and keep realigning. It's that fine tuning. And this is reminding me too, with this all tied up, my spirit guides were showing me an image of, it's like we are ready to land the plane. We are ready to come into union. We're ready to, like, it's like we're in this airplane, like, that's up in the stratosphere in the 5D. But we're really ready to land the plane and bring it down into the 3D. But my guides were showing me like a holding pattern, and I used to be a flight attendant, and you know, sometimes we would have to, you know, be in a holding pattern up in the sky going around and around in circles, because Mother Nature would come in and there'd be a huge thunderstorm over the airport and we couldn't land. So we just had to keep our fingers crossed that we would have enough gas, and we would just be in a circular flight pattern going around in circles waiting to land. And so I feel like this is where some you know, connections are right now, where it's like we're ready to land this, like we're ready to make this real, but there's in that circular pattern, it's like that fine tuning and refining and just tweaking and aligning, and you know, we just have to trust the divine timing. And if Mother Nature, if the divine is throwing a storm at us, you know, that's causing delays, those are divinely orchestrated intentional delays. And so we just have to trust that, you know, we're going to land this plane as soon as the storm passes, and it's going to be perfect divine timing. For the divine feminine, the energy that came up was, and again, this is the overall energy for the divine feminine for the month of April. We have Angel of Love. So the divine feminine, here she is, and this beautiful, and this pink is the feminine heart chakra energy. Green is the masculine heart chakra energy. So she is surrounded by this beautiful feminine heart chakra energy, and I feel like this is the divine feminine. Not only, you know, holding space, she has this beautiful rose quartz crystal up to her heart. You know, she's holding space for her divine masculine and feeling love and compassion for him as he is going through, you know, this challenging energy here. And she is being patient, and in the meantime, she's also really loving herself and cultivating self-love. And rose quartz crystals are all about unconditional love, and they also really support us in unconditional love for ourselves. And so I just think that's such beautiful energy coming through for the divine feminine for the month of April. And I did pull a clarifying card for this too, and just kind of wanting to get more information about, like, you know, what is this love that she's holding. And we have the Knight of Wands, so he's moving towards her and she's facing him. And so I just feel like, you know, she has faith, and she's holding this space and holding this love, and this is like what she's visualizing. It's like she's feeling this energy in her heart of really wanting to feel the passion of her divine masculine and his energy coming in towards her in a really loving, passionate kind of a way. So, and then I asked Spirit, you know, what is the key thing for twin flames to know during the month of April? And the card that came up is Archangel Metatron, 6th chakra. And if you look closely, this was just really reminding me of the diamond. It's got like all these sparklies on it. So, and I always associate Archangel Metatron with, you know, our ascension. Like, I feel that he is an archangel that really supports us in our ascension process. And like I was saying earlier, it's like, you know, we're receiving these new light codes and these diamond downloads, and we are like, you know, this lump of coal that's being squeezed and being made to feel really uncomfortable, because it's through the pressure on the coal that forms us into diamonds, and we are transforming into these crystalline beings. And as light workers, we are here to really ground these new energies of the new earth. And this is reminding me too, you know, we are receiving these waves of light that are coming in. And, you know, it started in March around the equinox, and we had another light wave at the beginning of April, and then around the middle of the month at the new moon, we'll get another light wave, and then around the full moon in the end of the month, we'll get another light wave. So it's like about every couple of weeks, these waves are coming in, and it's, you know, part of, you know, the ascension process for the planet, as well as for us as individuals. And as light workers, it's important for us to do this clearing so that we can continue to receive and ground these new energies that are coming in, that are going to assist with the new divine love template of the new earth. And he has, you know, his third eye is illuminated here too. So it's, you know, really listen to your intuition this month. And think about your vision. What is your vision for this new version of yourself that you are rebirthing? And this new vision for your life and your future. And this is a number 40, and number 4 is all about, you know, that grounding energy and creating stability in our lives. So think about what your vision is, and really bring in your vision. I'm looking at these two cards now. Bringing in your vision from your third chakra and pulling that vision from your imagination down into your heart space. And really feel it. Like, what does the vision that you have for your future feel like? What does this new version of yourself really feel like? Like, feel it in your body. And maybe it is like, what does your vision for your union look like? And what would it really feel like in your body to be in that energy? And that's really that's that law of attraction. That's how we manifest. So, yeah, this is what Spirit is telling us. This is what is key to know for the month of April. So I hope that helps, and that, you know, maybe some of it resonates. And, you know, just continue to be gentle with yourself. I know for me, I've just still been feeling really tired and needing a lot of rest. And I think that that's part of this integration and part of receiving these new light codes and new energies that are coming in these waves of light. So just be gentle with yourself and give yourself that downtime. And yeah, I'm hoping that you have a good April. And like I said, I will be back later this week with a new moon in Aries energy update and a full Twin Flame Collective reading, so we can get a more up close look at the energies. So, okay, I hope everyone's doing well. Take care.